How's everyone feeling? Should we get started? How is everyone feeling? Ziggy?
Yeah,
good?
Going on to tell you. Yeah,
Been a good week?
Thanks, yeah. Had a great week, yeah.
Phone going mad?
Phone's gone bonkers. Just absolutely buzzing. Yeah, an awesome experience with the family as well. So really enjoying it. Yourself?
Similar, yeah. Phone went mental for a couple of days.
You get back to everyone?
Yeah, a lot of thanks, mate.
Copy and paste.
A lot of that. Like, you obviously get some people that you've not spoken to for years that, like, and it's a quick message, like, it's just a thanks, mate. But yeah, I think I've got back to everyone. You?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You get people in Australia?
Yeah, a couple that were on the different time zones. So when I woke up,
Yeah.
there's actually got more messages when I woke up the next
Yeah,
day.
sure.
But yeah, it was cool, man. They all got uploaded to YouTube, like the announcement and everything. So they all watch it on there. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, lots of messages, phone going off. I even got one message that was, congratulations Finn on getting selected for the tour. So it was obviously a copy and paste. He sent to everyone else. And I was like,
Name and shame.
oh, it's interesting. Nah, I won't name and shame.
Greg, was it?
It was
But yeah, apart from that, yeah, like I said, lots of messages,
Nice.
lots of people from years ago that haven't chatted in a while,
Yeah. That's the nature of it, isn't it? JD, when you were announced?
Yeah, mine wasn't as high profile as you guys.
We all messaged him, obviously.
But I would say is even the coaches were like so. Like, we knew the squad, and we knew, but as soon as it started, like they were so nervous that even like.
Oh really?
I was like, I watch this, and they were like, you know the squad, like you know them. There's no.
Yeah.
Whereas you guys had a lot riding on it, and it's weird seeing the emotions, like obviously the excitement, but you feel for the other boys as well.
Yeah, you do.
As well.
How long did you know the squad before the announcement?
To be honest, like we only really finalised it the afternoon before, but it was, I'd say 80%. Like, the easy bit, you've got so many names.
Yeah.
580, I think, were on the list to start with, and then you get to the next chunk. You're looking at the top, and then trying to get from 50 to 38 is really almost impossible. And I think even that once it's selected, there could be loads of other permutations.
Yeah.
Guys could have easily been in it, and they were saying that's a really strong squad. So you've just got to. It's more the discussions around what the tour looks like and the versatility of players and how people can turn around, if people can cover other positions when you get HIAs now, the game that you're involved in 7 days could rule you out 3 games really in a week, so you were Saturday to Saturday, so we're just the small conversations around that happened, and then it was just like, yep, and then Faz took away to make sure he was happy with it, but so we were a wee bit, as the other coaches were thinking, has he made a change? But yes, that was it. It was relaxed. It was
fair.
It was good.
Do you just have like basically all those names up there, and it's just like almost a depth chart of just players in all positions, and you kind of just like pick?
So like obviously the coaches knew earlier, so we knew that once the Six Nations was over, that there was going to be a get together, and there was like that coaching announcement.
Yeah.
And then, so it was literally, I think Faz, to be fair to him, he made it a really easy process. So the analysts just had everybody, so your name would be in your colour, Scotland or Wales in red, and then and there was obviously all the players that played in the Six Nations, but everybody that maybe hadn't played in the Six Nations that had been in that top list, and then there was a process of like, let's knock people up to the top that we think will definitely be in around the top 2, then there was like a middle group, and then like this third group, and then it was just like, it's unbelievable the names and the quality, but it's just like 30 minutes and you start to chat and things start to rise up to the top, but I was really surprised, like which is really good for us, is that the belief they had in you boys in Scotland as general in terms of names. There was loads of navy blue up the top. So I remember Steve and Greg the last time saying, it was a hard sell, like the Welsh boys, and so I thought it was really good compliment to everybody, like all of us. So that was easy, and then we had a similar 3 or 4 30 minutes, and then watching the games and chatting, but it could just be like. Be relaxed, be open, make sure you're looking at this guy's playing in France in the 2nd division, make sure we're looking at so there's a lot to look at, but the process was pretty easy in the end, I think. Yeah. Well, not easy, but seamless to get to where we went to. Yeah.
Oh, well, you made some great choices.
I was obviously really excited, and I was fresh room moan summer. Look after Scotty, Zander, Shubin are coming now.
Too much. Can't forget your son, that's the one. You were saying though, like, so you picked the squad, and you said Andy took the list away. Did you think did he have the power to change it when he took it away, or is it a group decision?
Yeah, we said like everybody. I think Greg would be the same way. You sleep on something. You're honestly like some of the decisions are so close, and like injuries over that like weekend as well change things, the dynamic, and it could be somewhere like in a completely different position for the injury, but then you look at, oh, he needs to come in because he covers that one, and then it means that if we're comparing these two, then so. No, I think the process was like obviously the attack lads and the backs. We're talking specifically the backs. We're looking at forwards and the makeup in like 2 groups of 4, and then kept coming back in. But that was just. It's pretty simple, straightforward, to be honest.
You cover any positions, First tail.
Number 8, back in the day.
Would that be you put your hand up?
20 keg left. I could probably get shifted in like 10 minutes.
10 minutes in a What do you reckon?
4 and 5, man.
Oh.
4 and 5. 6?
6 if needed.
Oh, jeez.
You got anything else? Hooker. Yeah, I think I would say hooker for you.
He's got the neck for it.
Probably your primary position.
Probably, yes.
Yeah, obviously.
And you?
Like 10.
No.
When you pass for sewer.
Anywhere outside 13. How was it waiting in the room? I was so nervous, bro.
I sort of like put it back in my head like all morning. So I sort of spoke to the family before I left, and like I dropped off the wee man at nursery, and he literally said to me, he's like, oh, "Good luck, Daddy." He's like, "But don't worry, I'll love you if you don't get in." I was like, "Oh, cheers, mate." So it put me at ease, And I didn't think about it all morning. And of course, it came at 2 o'clock, and then because of like the half an hour wait in that room, which was also like, the heating was on full bung, it was pretty sweaty by about 2:30. So
I remember I saw you in the morning, and like any of the lads that I suppose thought they were in contention.
Yeah.
I was just going up to and anxiety dumping on all of them. And like from the minute I got to the club, because I woke up so early that morning, so I was like up for like 3 hours before I needed to be at the club. And I remember I came up to you, and I just like walking around you going, nervous? Because I was so nervous. And then obviously training happens, all that goes past, and then me and you got out of the building. We went to go to Meadow Road to grab a coffee, and then I just put on, what song did we put on?
It was I Can Feel It in the Air Tonight.
I Can Feel It in the Air, and I put it on max volume.
Full blast.
And I was just
windows
like,
down.
And we put the windows down, wind blowing in our face, and then Shaggy was hitting quotes like, I don't even really care anymore. And we were just protected. I was like, should we even go back? I was like, let's just watch it in the car. Put the car, and I'm actually real glad that we went back to the club.
Yeah,
it's like to have all the lads there, because obviously we were thinking about going home as well. I know some of the Edinburgh boys did that, but I'm so glad that I stayed at the club because everyone was up there. 100 people or whatever.
Special, really
club
special.
Was up there. And then they kicked off with your celebration, which made I don't know about you, Shug, did that make you more nervous when everyone was going absolutely bonkers when Scotty got
called? Because it was like the first one in the room,
and
then like you got the reaction for it, like it was so good, and then you were like, just got to wait now for mine coming up. But yeah, it was a nervous wait. You're probably lucky that you were early on.
Yeah, there was a lot of C's. There was like Conan, Kevin Dickey.
Yeah.
There was one other. Chesson was obviously before me, so I was like, Curry. I was trying to count up, see you, and I'm like, what on earth's going on here? Like, am I even? Is it past me or not? So, and then obviously just.
You were right at the front as well.
Yeah, I know.
Camera in your face.
Camera in the face.
I was gonna, because obviously I usually sit front row in meetings. But then as we walked in, because like we came back from having lunch. And we'd been told to be in the room at 2 o'clock. I literally walked in at 1:59. I was like, I'm not waiting in there. And then Franco's sitting in my seat at the front. I was like, I'm gonna go sit next to Franco.
we did make that comment. We're like, oh, we're sure.
Because like when man, like I heard, obviously you hear your name. I didn't actually see my photo. And then obviously like a second later, I like looked up and I was like, that's not a good photo of me.
It's a terrible photo.
It's a terrible photo. Number one, it's not me. It's not my body. I've been posed on.
Oh, really?
Oh, because I never.
Did you do the?
No, I wasn't there for any of it.
Of course,
you guys did. So I missed all that.
Yeah.
And it's just not a good photo of me from like 3 years ago. And I was like, oh, come on.
Stitch up.
Yeah.
Afterwards, after the whole thing when we'd like been announced, and then I was like almost tearing up. Like it was emotional when everyone was like coming around like congratulating you afterwards, and I was like,
yeah,
I was like still shaking.
Big time. And also, like, you think, like, we then have to go and do all the media stuff as well. You actually think about, like, what it means and, like, the journey to get there and stuff, and because you're talking to the press and whatnot, you know, it hits home.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And you end up saying the same thing, like, 3 times in a row.
Correct.
Different stations.
Because when I got home after it as well, it was weird because, like, obviously it's such a big high for, like, such an amount of time, and then all of a sudden you're in your house and I'm like, all right, well,
Just normal again.
what happens now? We're just
got to get
cook dinner. Like, what am I doing? Yeah, because I was like, oh, we should go out. My wife Catherine was like, obviously, let's go out and celebrate. And I was like, I can't even, like, speak just now. I don't even know, like, how to, like, speak. It's so, like, it's a big moment. But obviously went out. I don't know if you guys, did you do much at the evening or?
We ordered Deliveroo.
Of course.
What did you go for?
No doubt.
I just got a pizza. Ooh. Yeah. You? Surely Lara cooked something nice.
No, well, she was going to cook and she was about to leave to the shops to grab the ingredients, but the generous guy that I am, I took her out for dinner, you know? And what do we get? We got a steak, which is what we would have had at home anyways, but it was nicer, obviously. But yeah, that was, I agree completely with what you're saying of when I got home and I obviously hugged Lara, hugged Junie, it started setting in for me that had all happened, because like when we were at the club, I was so rattled by the announcement and then everyone congratulating you and all your mates being there and whatever. But then when I got home and then I sat down on the sofa with Lara and Junie, it's like, realise how happy they are for you, you know? And like they were nervous as well at home watching it, you know?
Big time.
It's just as much as an announcement for them. They're watching and you get to hear your name get called out. It's so cool, man. And then
Really special.
yeah, it still kind of feels like that as well. Like every day they come home training, then Lara's talking about, I'll get to go take Junie home and watch you in Australia and stuff like that, and it's awesome, bro.
Oh, it's definitely still, like, exciting.
Yeah.
I think we're just like, as soon as it was named, I was like, oh, cool, when do we start?
Yeah.
And like, we've obviously still got a few important games to play before we join up with the squad, but like, I was just like raring to go. I was like, right, let's go. I want to get on the plane now.
Yeah.
How did you tell the kids and Laura?
Well, it was quite. So the weekend, we knew that Faz had met with Gregor before. It was to speak about players and coaches, and then it was the first follow week, so it was actually that week when it's a bit disjointed for us because a lot of the XLs go back and we're training, and then I felt like we were done and dusted that day by about 3 o'clock or something in the afternoon. We were like, are we going out? Did everybody staying in? It seemed a bit. I remember Steve was keen to get away. He was like, I don't know, we're staying in, and then. But obviously, we're trying to start to think about selection, come off the back of the game, and we had like good debate around selection and stuff. And then it got to tea time, and we'd finished all our coaching stuff, and then Gregor went to his room, and then I got a message off Gregor, and it was actually, oh, can we meet at 8:30 in the morning? This was like 5 o'clock at night. So I think, I'm annoyed about the selection, and all that. I think he said, he would never normally do that. Why was it? So I said, well, I'm in the hotel, do you want to meet tonight? No, because he'd been away traveling, he'd been away at that conference thing as well on the Monday, and then he said, I'm going to get an early night. I said, can't leave it like that. So I was raging. I was like in the morning going, well, I'm sticking my guns on this. And
We're getting ready.
So I was really defensive, and then they said, oh, Faz has been on, and just they're really looking at, they want to announce all the coaching team over the next wee while, and you're still being considered. Just want to let you know that, but he's going to ask a few of the boys, so it might. Things and he's speaking to coaches and he might come back to you. So I said, well, just a process anyway, and then I honestly never even give another thought because we're trying to organise a CPD trip that we're talking about that Horney's on. So then obviously Edgy knows everything and says, he was like, are we going to book this? I said, yeah, let's get it booked. And he said, what about if the Lions? And I said, well, how do you know about that? And then saying it was everything. And then he knows everything. I said, well, it's not happy to just book it. And then the Saturday, Laura and I went out and I got a phone call and I knew 353 was Dublin number, so I seen it, and then obviously his WhatsApp picture came and then I missed it and then I phoned him back and then hung up by mistake. I said, I was like, oh no, I've made it, just calm down, and then he was like, you'll see when you meet him, he was just straight to the point. He was like, I'm going to make this any harder than it is, we want you to do it, what would you feel? And then same as you guys, I was like, I have to go home, I feel lost. I just go, I'm not into this, so I ended up going home and sitting on the couch. I told the kids, and then they were loving it. And then my youngest, within 5 minutes, he stuck on. I'd taped the New Zealand Lions tour. It was on Sky, and he put it on at the park, right? And just as he put it on, it's like the bus arrives and you go, like, aye, and then go straight to forwards meeting. And I was like, honestly, I felt ill. Turn it off. Honestly, I just like, what? I was like, honestly, turn it off, please. And then I was like, heart. And so I couldn't. Like, you can't process it, can you? Until after it's. So
Ziggy, as our only member to have been on Lions Tour before, what was the best things about being on tour? What was your favourite bit of kit? And what have you done with your jerseys?
I think first and foremost, it's such a unique thing when all the 4 nations come together, which is really cool, and getting to meet other guys and work out how they do things and sort of try and go for that collective goal is it's really special. It flies by, that's what I'd say as well. Like I can remember, I can't believe it's been 4 years, but also like the time you're away together, it feels like forever, but looking back, it just, you know what I mean, it just goes by in a flash. And the games come thick and fast at the start especially. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. Some great times on and off the pitch. What's it called? I got made to do the Scotland song last time, so got a bit excited after one of the games in the change room. As you boys know, I love a bit of dancing, so I danced up and down. So that was probably wasn't one of the highlights for me. But no, yeah, just absolutely loved the whole thing, and it was tough last time. I'm being honest, not having the fans there and not being able to have the family there as well. So that's why I'm really excited for this one. You know, to experience the whole tour and travelling to all the different places in Australia. Cause I think 4 years ago it was sort of we were based in one area, travelled, stayed there for a couple more weeks. It was only sort of 2 bases we had in Johannesburg and Cape Town. So to experience the whole thing as a proper Lions tour with the Sea of Red and everything will be absolutely incredible, which I'm really looking forward to. With my jerseys, they are. I gave 2 away to 2 coaches, and meant a lot to me. One of my school coaches, Andy Henderson, gave to him because I wouldn't be there without him. And then I gave one to my mum and dad. Just pretty much, as I said, you know, without you guys, sacrifice you made, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I want you to have that. And then of course, Dad. I gave Dad a lot more kit as well, so it's like a walking Macron shop / Lions kit shop. And then my favourite bit of kit, you'll love this, it was actually the waterproofs. There's a set of waterproofs which Nons wears waterproofs all the time, even when it's like 24 degrees outside. But it was awesome, and of course like really breathable, great for training. You know, can't wear it on the golf course because you get absolute dog abuse. Imagine that.
You can't wear anything.
You can't wear anything after a tour, not at all. No. But yeah, that's probably one of my favourite bits.
You know how you're saying, obviously you were like stuck pretty much on top of each other because it's COVID.
Yeah.
Could barely do anything. You obviously get to know everyone pretty well. Who were like the boys you got on with, like from other countries?
I got on really well with Louis Zamet. He's actually a good guy, good golfer. So yeah, me and him did a lot of golf together, which was good fun. Put a few wagers on it, and he beat me a few times. And of course, Marcus Smith got called out later on.
Yeah, sure.
And he joined our golf crew as well. So bought in and took all my money as well. So no doubt. Looking forward to catching up with Marcus and hopefully playing on the golf course again. So.
No gambling in Australia.
No gambling. Yeah, sorry.
4 kids now.
Can't afford it.
So yeah.
Is there anyone that you're looking forward to getting to know, like in the squad, or even back in Australia, like catching up with some old teammates? Maybe?
I think Mac seems like a pretty funny guy. Yeah. I'm looking forward to linking up with him. Obviously, he's like me, pretty excited to get back to Australia, and he gets to play in front of his friends and family. Anyone from other countries. I quite like the look of Ellis Genge, like I was talking about it before. I just think he's a character. I look forward to mixing up with those boys. And then also just our lads, you know, being away. Well, we would have never been away in Australia, you know. So just being away, doing something like that, you know. Chance to, rip in with those boys, it would be fun. Yeah,
Scotty, you must be looking forward to line-out meetings.
I can't wait.
Can't wait to get
can't wait. Yeah, it's funny because like obviously you play these guys so often. Like you look at like the Leinster, like we're gonna end up playing them, you know, again obviously playing them this weekend and then potentially meet them in one of the next rounds, and then you know it's gonna be funny to sort of get that flick of the switch because you know we're obviously playing Leinster, then the next day we're travelling down with them to meet up. So it's going to be that sort of funny dynamic of playing against them on the pitch. So I think it'll be good to actually meet lads like that you've played against for years, and you know, seeing what they're like on the pitch, but actually what they're like sort of behind closed doors as well. I think it'll be quite interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to meeting that Henry Pollock.
Yeah.
See what it's like. Arch was telling good stories about him, saying obviously he gets a bit excited and he's a confident guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was saying that everyone at Northampton just loves him. You just accept his confidence for what it is.
Sort of guy you want your team though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly. I met him at obviously when I wasn't playing in the Six Nations, I travelled up to Twickenham and I met him upstairs in he was doing some work up there in one of the boxes, and he's exactly how I imagine.
Yeah, right.
Like I've never met him, and I think you just hit him and "Sup, my guy." Yeah. So he's very confident, but it's good, man. Like I think all those, it's good for rugby, and just to see a young kid like that come in, and it's awesome that he got selected as well. You know? So he's going to be the youngest on tour.
Yeah.
So it's good, man, and he has good energy about him. I look forward to spending some time with him off the field.
Yeah, fair. Is your gran going to be?
She will be around, bro. She will be around.
Really around?
I think I'm not too sure if she'll travel up for some of the game, but definitely the one in Melbourne, and she'll be there. And I know she's so excited for it. She obviously stayed up with my dad and mum to watch the announcement, and it's so funny because like my dad's recording the announcement, and then all you can hear from the background of the video is my grand saying yes as my name gets read out. So she's obviously stoked that we're heading back there, and she gets a chance to watch us boys as well, that she when we do get back over there. So she's excited.
Nice, that'll be cool. Yeah. Well, you would have been in Australia the last time obviously the Lions went there. Did you go to any of the games?
I didn't go to any of the games, my brother did. My brother was a flag bearer for the game.
Running out?
Ran the boys out, yeah.
No way.
So awesome. They tunneled the boys out, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was I think flying our club team from back home. So
that's so cool.
It's pretty funny, man. My sister was talking about it the other day.
Me and my mate, when we were 11, 12 years old, would go for hours talking about who we'd have in our Lions squads. Because I think it was before the 2005 tour. That just shows my age. And honestly, we'd discuss the team for hours. I didn't know much about forwards, but could name the back line. And then we'd literally go on to Rugby 06 and play the Lions score over and over again. And then obviously quite a few years later, then I was when you start playing professional rugby, you start playing against some of those guys who you've literally played as them on the PlayStation and watched their games and been these guys are incredible, which is.
So is it 2013 the biggest Lions tour that kind of sticks with you?
For me, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm probably the same. Yeah. I think I obviously played rugby, but didn't properly follow it on TV probably till I was 15 odd, 16, so that was probably around then. So
Well, you were out with, we were in Valladolid, weren't we? Do you remember that?
Nah.
Not during that.
I wasn't on that.
I remember being in Valladolid under 17 training camp for 2 weeks, and we sat as a group watching the 2013 the third test when Alex Corbicero scrummed like a machine and got man of the match. So that for me is one of the big ones, watching that game, and it was absolutely awesome.
Scored a try, didn't he?
Scored a try as well.
In the squad, was he?
Exactly, he got called in.
I love that your best memory of that is the scrummaging.
Honestly, I just remember he went off. He went off. He was class.
The legends on that tour as well, and I was saying this before, but if you really compare, or maybe just the Test 23s, you would be hard to look back in time and there would be better world-class athletes on the same field. You know what I mean? You look at it like proper horses, like Jamie Roberts, Jonathan Davies, George North,
big guys,
massive, and then the same thing on Australia. You got Israel Folau, and then the matchups of Genia, and these are all prime players. Genia in their prime, Cooper in his prime, and all those players playing against each other on one field is crazy,
Yeah, fair. JD, earliest Lions?
1997 Lions, the first,
I was
the 11 with Lions, the first documentary, I don't know how many times, and I was down at London Scottish playing, I was just 18, 19, and I remember being away from home for the first time, and then I must have watched that a million times, but the Scots boys obviously Tom Smith, Gregor was huge in that with Alan Tate, I think we had Wainwright, Doddy Weir. So amazing Scottish representation. That was straight off the back of South Africa winning the World Cup as well. So that was a strong South Africa. All the legends of the game, and then the Lions to go there, and a few guys coming back for the league like Alan Tate and remember Bateman and these guys and Scotty Gibbs, and there were some absolute legends of the game as well. Win that test there.
Was back then a lot more league converts?
It was kind of an era there, late 90s, where, because obviously rugby went professional in 96, so before that, the kind of superstars were sucked up and went, a lot of Welsh, Scots would go to rugby league, playing Wiggins, Hulls, all these, kind of Andy Farrell era, really, and then, but in 97, some of the guys getting a little bit older, money was coming into rugby union, so the pros, there was definitely a lot more coming into that. You'd get back, and I think both Gibbs and Bateman, didn't they? Both the Welsh centres at the time that went on to win the Grand Slams and stuff. They were. Alan Tate came back to play because there was an exodus. He could play for Scottish Rugby Union when you're there. They were legends of the league game, and then came back and was still a bit frowned upon because the guys that left. So they were all coming back into it. So you had some absolute specimens that were a level even above the kind of new breedy professionals, because they'd been professionals for years, and the hits and the collisions were, and they weren't illegal either, so it was very, very nice to but that was a physical test that stuck with me, and then the moments within it as well, and it was the first time you got to see like Zander's got the experience of being there, but it was the first time the public really got behind the scenes, like the video cameras being handed about, seeing the emotion, like you're now selected, but there's more in terms of now pushing for tests and the way that the tour unfolded, and just like timing the momentum into the tests. Everybody wants to be playing on them, don't they? So that stuck with me. I don't know.
Have you watched that documentary?
I've watched like the famous speeches and stuff like that on YouTube.
It's good.
It's
good. No, it's worth a watch, definitely. Right then, Scotty.
Yeah.
As your JD's favourite player.
Of course.
What's it going to be like to be on tour with JD? Potentially, you can ask to room together. The line-out meetings. I mean, I want to get into line-out because, do you lead that?
Do you want me to be here all day?
Don't talk in detail, but
No. Look, I think obviously, I messaged JD as soon as he was announced. Do you know what I mean? Massive congrats to him. Do you know what I mean? On
Well done, Dan. Well done, man.
So look, I think obviously, excited to get out there and crack into whatever areas whoever's leading it. Obviously, there's a lot of great second rows that are going as well. So I think it'll be interesting having guys that are all from different systems. I know obviously we chatted earlier on about shaping that, but getting technical in line-outs, but there's so many different things you can do in line-outs.
What's the dynamic
different
with
ways and
line-out callers? Who is it? Is it between 4 and 5, or is just one of the guys more of a caller?
You just kind of, sometimes you both, do you know what I mean? Sometimes one person will do it, sometimes the other. Usually you have people that are more callers. Usually traditionally you'd have a bigger guy and you're calling guy. So in Glasgow with Big Max or something, do you know what I mean? He wouldn't call, but do you know what I mean? Big Al will, things like that. So no, I think it'll be interesting how there's obviously so many guys that have different experiences in it. Do you know what I mean? You'll have obviously Maratoji that's played in the Lions and experienced stuff with Saris that are great, and the Irish way they run stuff way different to what we've probably ran in the past at Scotland. So it'll be interesting to take a wee bit of both, and because you don't want to just go, oh no, this is exactly how you need to do it now. Do you know what I mean? So, but I'm sure it'll happen in attack as well. Do you know what I mean? You got to find, it's important to get everyone's talents on the pitch, not just what you want, if you know what I mean.
For sure. There'll be so much that we'll probably actually learn from other coaches, other players.
Yeah.
I found when I've moved to different clubs even, I learned so much quickly because you just find out from other players their processes and how they play, and you actually sort of gain quite a lot of experience in that, and it's probably quite exciting to just meet a load of new players and find out different techniques of stuff and how the attack will run. It'll be quite cool, I think. Yeah,
because that's something that obviously I've been at Glasgow my whole career, so I've had things pretty much the same way, and same with Scotland. Obviously a lot's transferred with JD going to Scotland and Gregor all going on to Scotland.
Change of environment.
So it's interesting to see a completely different perspective of it, if you know what I mean. Like, as an example, the Irish guys that play one way, the English guys that play a slightly different way, some, do you know what I mean, experiences with the Welsh. I think it'll be interesting to see the differences, do you know what I mean, how they approach things.
So obviously, we obviously all said that we were happy to have watched it in the room. Like, we had debated about going home, and then thought, do you know what, like, on the way back, let's just be in the room with the boys. Whatever happens, happens. Obviously, the Edinburgh boys, Dewey and Scoomies, weren't in the room. We've seen their reaction video. Well, the Edinburgh reaction video, obviously, is the boys clapping, but they're not there. And so the rumour is that Scoomies watched the announcement in his car, and then when he found out, obviously, that his name was read out, he went home and then filmed a reaction video.
He set up a tripod. Got it on reverse camera.
It's
good acting, to be fair.
It's great acting, yeah.
And who'd you hear that rumour from?
You.
I heard from Diggy.
Don't say. No, not at all.
He's not here to defend himself.
Not his friend, so.
But it's vicious. I'm glad we all stayed, because I think out of all the reaction videos I've seen,
Yeah, our clubs.
ours were cool because you can genuinely see. I mean, looking at our ones when they've like got us before, you can see the pain on our faces.
So painful, bro. The one how you know how they slow play your one, and you're like. And obviously we're right next to each other because I can hear everything. Eat right next to me, and you're like,
Your legs.
yeah, I know, bro. My legs are just like that. And then when your name got called, my legs started going like that.
No, it was good. It was good to be in the room. And the reaction was amazing.
It was quite cool because you guys were beside each other and I was beside Scott.
Yeah, true.
We were in our normal seats as well, which is I'm an absolute bonkers for you.
Yeah, I headbutted you. Went in for the hug and just right off him. No, it's good having the boys, they all round us, do you know what I mean? Like,
Special.
yeah, definitely.
JD, you've coached these two. You've obviously coached all of us, but these two for a lot longer. Can you tell us about what they've been like growing up as players from 20s?
Well, Scotty was very mature for a young lad. Coming through the Asian system, was captain material, and he capped the 20s.
What a drop off.
And obviously pretty grown up. Whereas Zander, on the other hand, he caused me no end of trouble in a lot of the World Cups. I remember Manchester every morning. There's somebody coming over to me to say, there's been a room bill. What have they been ordering? Chicken wings, Coke, chips. It's obviously Zander. And then also the Manchester one was we turned up to go to the Junior World Cup, which should be a big honour for everybody, with a big white golf bag and throws it in with his stuff, thinking he's going to voice party.
Cleared it with team manager. Don't forget the coffee machine as well.
The director of rugby taking his golf clubs.
Wow.
You
got to enjoy your off time.
You got your first car, that was the name of the car?
The Bent?
The big thing. Was
The Chrysler.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The Hurst.
Yeah, and 18-year-old.
Silver grills at the front. Silver grill at the front.
Matte black.
The mahogany handles, mate. It was.
Loved it. Driving train in luxury.
It was.
And what age was that at? 19, 20?
Yeah, 19.
Because I played both of you boys at 20s.
Yeah. It'd be that World Cup.
Yeah, both of them.
We won the first game.
Easy money.
Yeah.
Well, we won the first game.
Man, I played Ziggy in Italy. No, is that right? Yeah, Ziggy, Italy, you, Manchester.
I was in Italy.
And then I played Stiffy in that in Georgia. But I remember the Manchester one was the most, like, you guys were really good that year.
Yeah, well, we get everyone got injured that year, didn't they? Remember that? We had
We started off with a win against
when we had this strong
No,
team.
we got get back though. I don't know if you remember that.
We got
Point,
injured.
wasn't it? Yeah, I remember that too. Well, Zander could have won that game easily when we were up there. If
What happened?
Huw Fraser should have just played the same way, one more phase. And remember, he came back.
And was Ziggy on the same line?
I've got over it now.
There's no way Ziggy.
It wasn't me.
We're a metre for the goal line, and I would back him for the.
I was watching
same
him,
way
mate. I was
Huw
watching
Fraser
him come around
picked
blind
up, played
shot.
open, and Adam Hastings missed 5.
I think
All for the same position.
I thought you were blaming me. I'm kind of relieved it wasn't my fault.
The game there, we were up. It would have been a game.
Oh, Dempsey. No, we did an unbelievable team. Darsh was in that as well. Who else?
Blair.
Muzz, Blair.
Smog. Yeah. Hutch.
Jay.
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 How do you get it?
Andrew
Bummer as
Davison.
well, yeah.
I remember Blair's first session. You know how we sometimes with Scotland train against the 20s?
Yeah.
His first session when they came up and trained with us, he just stood me up completely. Like, took me on the outside,
Skeletor.
stepped me on the inside, I was just sat there, and he ran the length. And then I was like, I was just showing pictures, like, whatever, this guy's going to be good.
Yeah.
But he was in the squad next season.
Who's the defence coach?
I can't remember if it was Dalziel or it was still Dalziel.
Get up!
Yeah.
You're talking about line speed.
No, I can't. Going back to your room build thing,
Yeah.
the first time I met you,
That's
you
a
told
vicious
me-
rumour, by the way. Vicious rumour.
You told me.
All the boys knew my room because we had a coffee machine in my room, and one of the boys brought his machine as well. And so everyone that came to our 2 rooms for like coffee club just came in, had some crack.
Yeah, but do you still order
No,
a
not
rack
anymore,
of
not
ribs
anymore.
the
No,
night before a
no,
game?
no.
Because you used to. That was the first time first time I met you. You said a rack of ribs and a pizza the night before a game.
Yeah, carb loading. It's good for you. Calories, mate. You need to get it in, day before. I room with Josh Strauss, and he was a bad influence on me.
Yeah.
Immediately ratting on someone.
Nah, but I remember he was saying to me, he's like, first time like we roomed together before one of the test matches. He's like, he was an exile at this point. He's like, yes, don't worry, like I can just put it on the room, like because I'm an exile, it'll get covered. So I was like, all right. Dinner was all right, but I was still a bit hungry, so I had like a full rack of ribs, chips, and a pizza as well, and then it went well. And
What's going on here?
went well, and I felt all right afterwards. And then of course I was like, oh, let's keep doing it. So then of course came to the end of the campaign though, and the nutritionist comes over to me, he's like, let's have a chat. And of course, like I think Josh had ratted me out, so I was like, yeah, fair. Not anymore though.
Not anymore. You cleaned up your act.
Was it in Australia you did that burger challenge?
Scotty, don't throw shade.
Oh, talk about that, please.
No.
I've heard about this.
No.
You
It's
sit
like,
in the restaurant.
it's like if you finish it, you don't have to pay for the...
Yeah, pretty much. On Coogee Beach. And
Right.
I was going
Was
well.
it huge?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a decent amount, and then of course got to the last like half patty, and then just couldn't finish
Tapped
it.
out.
Tapped out.
Spew?
Yeah, badly.
That's a shame.
Yeah, team meal out wasn't fun. That was it. And then of course none of the coaches knew, and then of course someone mentioned it got mentioned in one of the leaders' meetings, and of course in my one-to-one the next week, coach wasn't best pleased, so I got told off. So not anymore. Yeah.
So obviously, hopefully, after the summer, the next time we'll all be together will be with Scotland for the Autumn Nation Series. Is there any game in the autumn that anyone's particularly looking forward to?
I've heard that is Talakai not potentially going to be playing for Tonga by that point as well? Did he say maybe?
Will he?
Yeah.
Is he qualification for that?
I think he qualified.
Because when did he play?
So that'd be
for-
pretty cool. for him.
I think he'll by the time the Autumn Nations roll around, he'll be able to play the
Oh,
Tonga.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Big Islanders.
Big nons as well.
Running it straight, yes. But no, I think that Tonga game will be special as well, as I think playing the All Blacks is always at Murrayfield is always a really special game. So
Yeah, it'd be good to get another crack at them because
definitely.
the last two have been actually pretty close. We've been in with a chance of winning it kind of during the game, and then it's kind of slipped away. So it's one that you don't get to play them very often. But to get a scalp like that would be obviously be amazing.
Murrayfield will be absolutely bouncing.
This has been great, guys. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for the insight.
Cheers,
thanks for
Joe.
listening.
Cheers, Shugs.